Okay, Massei, Zera Hashem. We'll be doing Zera Hashem Parashat Massei this Wednesday, and we'll be doing hair, correct? We're not going to do everything because it's very long, but it's a new piece, I think. So it's good to do something new. All right. So בשעה טובה ומוצלחת נעשה ונסיים בחמר הרוויח. We're doing זרע שמשון פרשת מסעי פרק ה'. וישוב בה עד מות הכהן הגדול. Here we're talking about when somebody killed accidentally without any wrong intentions. He was, say for example, as the Torah brings down, he was cutting wood in the forests, and unfortunately he didn't check his axe, and the blade of the axe was a bit loose, and in one of those, when he tried to cut the wood, so the metal piece, which is a blade, that when flying, hit somebody and killed somebody. Okay, so what would he do? He killed already. What can he do? It's not a pikuach nefesh. So he would run quickly to the miklat. Go straight to the miklat, and the family had permission from the Torah to kill that person until it reaches the miklat. Okay, they could avenge him to that point. And many places from Yerushalayim here and there, wherever you are, there was always a sign saying where the closest miklat is, so that a person can run towards the closest miklat. Once he goes in, that's it. It's like catch. As they catch. You're not touching here, you can't touch me. That's it, I won, right? Shalom. But that was maybe they got it from there. So once you're in the miklat, that's it, you can't touch it. But so these people, there are unfortunately many, at some period of time, there were many of them. There were Sachakol 48 in miklat, 48 of them, and that is denoted by the amount of words there are in the first chapter of Shema. There were 6 Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, 6 words. Those 6 were main ones in Eretz Israel, and there were other small ones around Israel, and also mostly in the Ever Yarden, right, in Jordan, in the Jordan area. Over there were many, unfortunately, people already, they're already killing. They were not careful what they did. So they would stay there until the Kohen Gadol would die. The moment he died, so everybody in miklat were able to go back again to their homes, and that's it. And you probably say, what about those people who still want to avenge? So the Gemara says that's not a question. The Gemara says the fact that the Kohen Gadol would die would be such a tremendous loss for Israel, such a shock. The people were already maybe forgotten, or the shock is so that the shock of the Kohen Gadol dying was so great that it would cover the loss of the member, family member that passed away, whatever it was. Okay, that's what the Gemara says. So now,
sorry, what's the connection between what you said, Shema Israel, and the Ir Miklat?
The idea is that our Ir Miklat now, the Ir Miklat is Shema Israel. If we say Shema properly with Kavanah, so it protects us very, very, very much, like the Ir Miklat would do, and nobody could touch you. You were protected. It wasn't called prison, but it's a protective ground, a protective place where nobody could touch you. The same thing here. The moment the person says Shema, first three, the first paragraph I'm talking about, the whole thing, right? At least the first paragraph, you can see the power that he has. Obviously, it's very, very deep, and but this is one of the from the superficial side. There is 48 letters, and these 48 letters are for the 48 miklatim, which protected Israel for those who made a mistake. So too, we make mistakes every so often. Unfortunately, we do this, we do that. So we need el miklat. We have accusers. Look at him, look at this. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. Right? Why should he give him this? Why should take this away from him? Well, so the moment we say Shema b'kavanah, so that protects us. That's probably the connection. Good question. Okay, so
excuse me. So it was a very good question. So, the minute we say Shema, that's the last thing you said. It protects us, or one. So then we don't have to, of course, get into it now. But so many people who died saying Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad.
Yeah, it's not stira. We say that.
So the neshama is protected, but not necessarily the guf.
Yeah. Why do we say Shema Amita, for example? It protects the neshama when it goes up to Shamayim.
Right.
There's it's one of the most important pesukim there are. That we constantly say it, and it has a tremendous amount of power. So that power is protect us in many instances. It says the Shomer Emunim. The Shomer Emunim says, Ad kedei kach, it was so powerful that if somebody would say Shema, just Shema Yisrael, the 6 words, Shema Yisrael with a lot of kavanah, so he would be saved. And that's what happened in the war, in the Russian war many years ago. So he was like in danger. This Jew was in danger, and quickly he said Shema with a lot of kavanah. Bing, and Baruch Hashem, he was saved. A goy who was looking at this, seeing what was happening. He said, "What are you saying? What did you say? Teach me. What did you say? I can see that you." So he taught him, and this guy, every time he said Shema, got saved. This is the power of Shema Israel. Tremendous. We don't realize the tefillot that we say, the Torah that we learn, all these things are tremendous powers. And it does have, not only the segula, it has the koach, tremendous power. Okay, very good. So anyway, so the Kohen Gadol, until it would stay, this person would stay until the Kohen Gadol would die. Hatam, the reason for this, why is it? What's connection? If you want to say a connection, what's the connection between the Kohen Gadol and those who are in the miklat? Why is it that the ones in miklat can be freed because of the death of the Kohen Gadol? What's the connection? Why? Because it's well, they give you this compensation. Why? Okay. The answer is that if the Kohen Gadol, there's a tremendous connection between the Kohen Gadol and how many deaths, how many accidental deaths, all these things were determined by the tefillah of the Kohen Gadol in Yom Kippur. Imagine. So what would happen? When an accident would happen and the person would run to the miklat? So then they would daven they would daven. They know that this is a secret, not a secret, but this is the equation. They would daven that the Kohen Gadol would die. You know that? The Gemara in Masechet Makot brings down that those prisoners, kiviyachol, the ones who killed accidentally, they would daven so that the Kohen Gadol would die, because we know that if the Kohen Gadol dies, they're free. So let's daven. They would daven, right? So they would daven. They would daven that the Kohen Gadol would die. So what would so obviously the mother of the Kohen Gadol doesn't want that to happen. So what did she do? The Gemara says she would come and bring sweets and cakes and this and presents to all those who were in prison. Shochad. It would, a form of a bribe. This would take the edge of the tefillah of those who were in prison, in the Miklat.
I never understood that practically, because there were hundreds and hundreds of people in each Miklat. So she had to travel the whole time around the country feeding them. I just don't know how practically that was even possible.
Hello, Tani?
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry, no, I was just saying practically, I don't know how that is possible. How the mother of the Kohen Gadol could carry food across the whole country, the 48 Miklat. In each Miklat, there is hundreds and hundreds of people. And then she goes to the first one, but by the time she's finished 48, she has to go back to the first one because a new person is there. It's just practically so hard.
I didn't hear, I only got half of the, once more, Danny. He's off. I know he's not there. He's there. Okay, Danny?
Sorry, no, I'm just saying, practically, I don't know how that could have happened, because this 48 Miklat, the mother of the Kohen Gadol had to travel from Miklat to Miklat, hundreds of people in each Miklat.
Well, very good. What probably would have done is that she probably had mishlochim, some servants that would do that. This is from the mother of the Kohen Gadol. She not necessarily.
She wouldn't physically go herself.
I don't think so. The idea behind it is that to remove the edge, the powerful edge of the tefillah of those who were in miklat. So the moment you give them food and everything, a bit happier. That bit happier would remove the power of the tefillah. It wouldn't be the same. Imagine if the person is bitzad, he has his pain, he's got a lot of suffering. So then he daven's good. The moment he's okay. So his tefillot is already, So that was the antidote. But you have to understand that the Kohen Gadol caused all of this. Why is it that the inmates, so to speak, those who were in the Miklat, they could daven and make the Kohen Gadol die? Yeah, could Holland permits such a thing? What? Yeah, Elama. He's also connected somehow. From where? From his tefillot. He didn't daven properly, strong enough, and that caused somewhere along the line during the year, some ripple effects. That person. It's tremendous how a gadol ador, what he does and how it affects the generation, and what. Yeah, you have to understand that the tremendous connection between the gadol ador, the king, the Kohen Gadol over here, to Am Yisrael. Tremendous. So what do we say here? Second line. Hatam shaya lo leitpalel al bnei doro. Why is it? Yeah, because he should have davened for his generation. Kemo shamru zal. Chachamim said in Makot, in the Gemara Makot, in Yud Aleph. U'mipelek bet berachot says, what does the berachot says? Ashrei Adam she'amalo b'Torah. Praise is a person who was he does in Torah. Does, nachat ruach means he makes Hashem happy. Gadal b'shem tov, he grew with a good name. V'niftar b'shem tov min ha'olam, and he passed away from this world also in a good name. Ve'alav amar shlomo tov shem mishem tov. Okay, so that it's a thing that we say every day. So, kashe. Ma'u ve'oseh nachat ruach liyotzro. So the Zera Shimshon says, what does it mean? Right? What does it mean? Ve'oseh nachat ruach liyotzro. That he does nachat ruach. He makes HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy. ועוד השם מי שגדל בשם טוב, שדבר זה אינו תלוי בו. אפשר שהיה צדיק גמול ולא ימצא חן. And the other thing is, another thing that we see in the Gemara Berachot, ועוד אשרי מי שגדל בשם טוב. Praise is the person who he grew with a good name. Yeah, he doesn't do averot, he doesn't this and that. שדבר זה אינו תלוי בו. Such a thing is not dependent on him. אפשר שהיה צדיק, שיהיה צדיק גמור, ולא ימצא חן. In other words, this idea of the person can be a good person, but לא ימצא חן, he won't have חן in front of Hashem. So there's an עניין of נחת רוח as well. ועוד מהו מיום הולדתו. What's the idea of from the day he was born? From the day he was born, right? So it says, yeah. Okay, it says Yom Holato is going on the second part of the, or it's not mentioned here. Okay, ויש לומר. זה מדבר על אדם חשוב המתפלל תמיד על הציבור. Here we're talking about a person, right? When it says אשרי אדם אשר עמלו בתורה, somebody who learns Torah and he makes a lot of נחת רוח to Hashem, he finds favor in Hashem's eyes. He had a good name, he passed away with a good name, right? Here we're talking about on a Adam Chashuv, somebody who's an important person. המתפלל תמיד על הציבור. He is constantly davening with what do you call this? For somebody in the tzibur. So in other words, somebody is always davening for people. In other words, when we daven, we should always include the tzibur, even though we say refaenu, barechenu, right? We always bring everybody, Asim Shalom, everybody together, but it's better, it has more power if you say it mamash. You should say Ribbono Shel Olam. The tefillah should also go for everybody in this kehillah, in this shchona, in the whole Awam Israel. You should always include the tefillot for everybody. It has a tremendous, much more powerful. Now, this is what the person does. And because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves, he desires the tefillah of tzaddikim, this is what it means to find favor. Oseh nachat ruach. I don't know what the proper translation for this is, but nachat ruach means something. HaKadosh is happy with what you've done, and finds favor in what the tefillah you said, for example. And because he's davening for others, הוא גדל בשם טוב, שדורו כולו זכאי. What does it mean? גדל בשם טוב, it's talking about the generation, his generation. כולו זכאי. Because he davens for others, so then that makes it adds to the entire generation on on a positive note. Okay, Massei Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, as we saw also Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, that what? ששאל לו רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, נראית הקשת בימיך? Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai asked Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, tell me, did you see the rainbow in your days? Right? Which means what? Which means that the Gemara says that Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, when he was around, right, when he lived, nobody saw the rainbow ever when he was alive. Why? We see from here that he used to daven for the whole of Am Yisrael, and his tefillah, his merit would protect the entire generation, entire world, and therefore there wouldn't be any hints from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he wanted to destroy the world. Because every time you see the rainbow, you have to understand that that is the siman, the partnership that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we wouldn't. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I will not come and bring him a bull again to this world, the same way I did it, the whole world. You do see in different places as a city, this city, that city, whatever it is, right? But not as a world, not the entire world. It will never happen again. So over here we see that. So there was a rainbow, because who gave the siman that this is I will never do this again, and every time you see my rainbow, so then you should understand that comes from a understanding that I would have come and brought the mabul, but I'm not, even though the world is ra'ui, fitting for a mabul, right? You should get punished, but because who promised, so then it stops, and that's the idea of the rainbow. So in the days of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, there was no rainbow. Why? He used to daven, and also and his tefillot and Torah would protect the entire world. So there was everything was rachamim over there. A lot of rachamim. So when there is when the tzaddik is alive, en choteh ba'olam, people don't sin. Shouldn't be sinning anyway. Or sin that causes accusations. ועוד, אינו נתפס חס ושלום על עוון הדור, משום שאף דורו כולו צדיק. In other words, the moment the person davens for the world, so then you are cleansed from any accusations, because anything wrong that might happen in the world, it could be because you didn't say tefillah, right? Here we're talking about not only for Am Yisrael in general, we're talking Adam Chashuv. That's what we said at the beginning of the parak, of the paragraph here. Adam Chashuv, המתפלל תמיד על הציבור, so he has the power to influence the tzibur and everything. So you would probably say, what about the kehillah, the community? It's who's responsible for the community? The rabbi. The rabbi, So everything that happens in the community, so the rabbi is supposed to be, he's responsible. Now, that gets a bit more political, but in general, the person, the Rav of the community is responsible, and sometimes you have to understand, if he's Yireh Shamayim Bemet, sometimes that Rav will do ta'aniyot, for the community. There shouldn't be any bad bad things happening to the community, a bunch of things. Unfortunately, nowadays, the Rav says something and nobody listens to him. He sometimes you can't even say anything nowadays because they won't listen anyway, so it's better to keep quiet. So, but anyway, that is with respect to confronting the Kehillah, etc. But with respect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has to daven. He has to daven. This is why Noach, it's connected. Noach with the rest of the world, why is it called Me Noach? Why do we say that the Mabul, the flood, is called Me Noach? Me Noach means the floods of Noach, blaming Noach. This is the blame. His name. Why?
Because he didn't daven for his generation.
He didn't daven. Correct. He didn't daven. He could have davened. If he would have davened, so then the tefillah would have had it would have been a different story. So we do see that the head of the community, the head of the generation, the Kohen Gadol, whoever it is, he knows it. He knows he knows it. That he has to daven. He has to daven for the rest of Am Yisrael. The same thing with you don't have to go so far. A father with his children, with his family. So anything that happens with his family, you have to understand that it could be, I'm not blaming anybody now, but it could be that the father is not davening properly, the father is not behaving as he should, and that is mashpia on the kids, on this and that. It's all interconnected. There's no difference between the Kohen Gadol and the rest of Am Yisrael. You got that leader, and you have also another leader in the house. You also have a head in the house. So he's responsible. The same idea.
So what would you say the concept of Hashem davening for us means?
Hashem davening for us in
right.
context.
In a sense, he's also davening, right? He's also davening for all
there
of us.
there is pesukim, that we do see. I can't remember what, but yes, there is. But probably from this idea, there's a certain responsibility kaviyachol that the head has over the rest of the people. Very good. So, לכן המן נפטר בשם טוב ולא להגין על דורו. אוקיי, וזהו. קריון. וזהו שאמר הכתוב, טוב יום המוות מיום היוולדו. This is what the pasuk says in Kohelet. Tov, it's better. Yom HaMavet, the day that the person passes away from this world, that day is better than the day that he was born. When he was born, everybody says Mazal Tov. Wow, it's a bris, so nice. Oh, Pivyon Ben. Oh, it's a girl. Wow, what name? This beautiful, no? When the person passes away, everybody cries. How come is it? What? Who wrote Kohelet? Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech says it's better. Tov. It's better the day that the person passes away than the Yom Haledet. Why? Anybody can give me an answer?
Because there's no more potential for that person.
There's no more potential, and that's why it's better?
No, he's reached his limits.
How do you know?
Well, in this world.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he didn't pass his mission. Who said he did his mission?
No, I'm not talking about his mission. I'm talking about his potential. That there's no more mitzvot that he can do.
And that's why it's better, Yom HaMitah? Why should it be? I think I probably said something here, I don't know. But I think, and one answer could be that when the person is born, you do not know how this person is going to grow, how this person is going to form. What type of person is going to be, tzaddik or rasha? But Yom HaMitah, okay, we're talking about the person already that you see that he's a good person, and that person passes away. So Baruch Hashem, he went through the entire, 80, 90 years, 100 years of this world, and Baruch Hashem, he ended up being a tzaddik. When he's born, you don't know. Yeah, Danny?
Could it not be, sorry, I just heard somewhere, when someone passes away, I know for us it's very sad, we miss them, and here in the material world, we're very upset about it. But I thought for the neshama, it's actually a positive thing, a nice thing that he passes away. And that could potentially be the answer to the pasuk.
Well, for the neshama, you have to understand, depends. Again, if the neshama is happy to go back, if he has all the requirements, has the good mitzvot, and he has the avirot, he did teshuvah and everything, then he's very happy to go up, which is basically what I said. When the person finishes his life and he finishes he has a good report. So then, Baruch Hashem, everybody's, that's why Tov is better. But only if he's done teshuvah and all of that. If not, there's no real answer. Okay. שביום הולדתו בא לעולם בדור חייו. When this person came to this world, is connected to the same idea we said before. When the person was born, when he came into a dor, it came into a generation that was chayav, that was not in merit, but in deficits, right? They were in deficit, meaning they were chayav punishments. They were והיה צריך להגין עליהם. ועכשיו ביום מותו הוא נפטר מדור שכולו צדיק. So the moment the person davens for that generation, so then he brings that generation to a different level and makes it, כולו צדיק. וכן מצינו שהאבות מתפללים תמיד על בניהם. So we see as well that the parents, they always daven, מתפללים, always what? A second. Okay. שהאבות מתפללים תמיד על בניהם, that the parents come and daven for their children, always, תמיד, always. שיהיו נשמרים מהחטאים. They should guard themselves from all sin. ומהפגעים רעים. Bad things. Don't go here, don't go there. Be careful, be there, be that. Yeah, we all say that. ושיהיה להם אריכות ימים ושנים. And we daven that they should have long life, and there shouldn't be any issues. וכן החובה מוטלת על כל גדולי הדור להתפלל על בני דורם. And the same חובה, the same obligation there is for all the גדולי הדור, all the great sages of the generation, our generation, the previous generation, Rav Avadia, Rav Shach, Rav Yashiv, everybody, they all daven, תאמין לי, they all davened for the entire generation. להתפלל על בני דורם. ובזה, because if they don't daven properly, so they have it's a accusation on them, like what happened to the Kohen Gadol. ובזה יובן הכתוב, מה עשה לך העם הזה? כי הבאת על חטאה גדולה. And this will be able to understand what it means when Moshe Rabbeinu was in Har Sinai, up in Shamayim, and after the 40 days, so all of a sudden Baruch says to Moshe Rabbeinu, go down to Am Yisrael, right? Because they've done this egel as a have. They did the golden calf. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he met Aharon HaKohen. When he came down, he met Aharon HaKohen. He says, "Ma asa lecha ha'am hazeh?" Moshe Rabbeinu said to Aharon, "What did this people, ha'am?" Every time he says ha'am is Erev Rav, by the way. Asa lecha ha'am hazeh. The Erev Rav were the ones who did the egel. They caused a bunch of problems in the Midbar. Ki heveta alav chata'a gedola. You brought upon yourself a tremendous chet, tremendous sin. Sh'alei lefi ha'emet לא שייך לשון זה על אהרון, שהרי כיוון שהשליך הזהב לקום, מיד יצא העגל מחמת הגישורים שעשו העם. In other words, when Moshe Rabbeinu said Moshe to Aaron, Moshe said to Aaron, you've done such a tremendous chet, right? So, what was the chet of Aaron HaKohen? Is it that he placed the gold into the fire? That can't be. Since he put everything into the furnace, into the fire. Miyad yatsa ha'agel. Immediately, the golden calf came out. Bing, just magic. Mechamat ha'kishufim, but what made it? It was the kishufim shasu ha'am. The Erev Rav, who is the Erev Rav? The Egyptians that came and joined Am Yisrael as they were leaving Mitzrayim, right? So they said, "Oh, quick! I'll also be with you. I'll also be." Right? They didn't want to change, but for some reason which we don't know, Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who accepted Erev Rav. He accepted them. So, and that caused a lot of issues. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu do that? I don't know. And I've seen, people don't know. Am Yisrael don't know. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu accept these people? It could be that, they won't do teshuvah, this and that. But at the end of the day, they didn't. Look what they did. They were the ones who caused the kishufim, the black magic, and that caused the egg to come out. So it wasn't the Aaron, it was the people, the Erev Rav who did this. Kedam Ruzal. וכדרכמה מסמוך, הוא see later on as well. ומאי כי הבאת עליו. What's this הבאת עליו? You didn't bring upon yourself. Aaron didn't do that. What is Moshe saying? דקמא משה. והלא הוא בוודאי לא הביא החץ. For sure, says Zera Shimshon, that Aaron for sure didn't bring the chet, the chet of the egel. He's וצריך לומר, we have to say, שתוכחת Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to tell Aaron off. How did he tell him off? לא הייתה אלא שאהרון היה לא להתפלל לקדוש ברוך הוא כל אותן 40 יום שיצילם מיצר הרע. So Moshe Rabbeinu said to Aaron, you made a big sin. What was your sin? Not that you put the gold and everything, because putting the gold wasn't anything. The kishufim were the ones, the Am did it. The Erev Rav did that. You didn't daven. Aaron didn't daven for Am Yisrael for those 40 days that Moshe Rabbeinu was out. Right? Aaron didn't daven. Aaron היה לו להתפלל. Should have davened like to Hashem. כל אותם 40 יום. That what? שיצילם מיצר הרע. That Am Yisrael should escape themselves from the clinches of the יצר הרע. ומדלא התפלל, and because Aaron HaKohen didn't daven, נקרא שגרם להביא עליהם החטא. That's why he's to blame. That's why he's to blame. Aaron is to blame, not because he put the gold and he said this, machar, and was right? No, he didn't daven. So we see that he was the Gadol Ador then. Moshe Rabbeinu left. So who's second command now? Aaron HaKohen, the Kohen himself. Kohen Gadol. So he's the one who's supposed to daven for himself. He didn't daven, and this is exactly what happened in the times of Bet HaMikdash. All these people that killed accidentally, right? And I'm sure as well, to a certain extent, has effect as well on those who killed intentionally, right? Because one thing brings in the other. So if the tefillah is not 100%, the words are there, but the kavanah of the Kohen Gadol when he davened had to be absolutely 100% pure. for the entire generation to have protection for the whole year. It only takes a few minutes. That's all it was. Don't think it was the whole day. It was just a few minutes when he went into the Kodesh Kodashim. So we see this idea that Aaron HaKohen, the Kohen Gadol, he didn't daven, and he got, what did he get? He got a chata gedola, and unfortunately, because of this chet, we're going to see what happened to his kids. Lo alenu. So too, the Kohen Gadol in the Bet HaMikdash, when he didn't daven, so those people in Miklat would daven that the Kohen Gadol would die. Huh? You know, it works against the person. In other words, if the Gadol Hador doesn't daven for the generation, so somehow or other, we can see from here, from the idea of the Kohen Gadol in the Bet HaMikdash, and for what happens here as well in Aaron HaKohen, he has tremendous chet, and he can die from it. He could die from this if he doesn't daven properly. This is the responsibility that the leader has. Omishum achi, we're now on the last paragraph, first page. ומשום אחי ניחא שמידה כנגד מידה היה רוצה לקדוש ברוך הוא שלא תהא תפילת האב מקובלת על הבנים והיה רוצה להשמיד בניו. So מידה כנגד מידה, הקדוש ברוך הוא did not want, היה רוצה הקדוש ברוך הוא שלא תהא תפילת האב מקובלת על הבנים. He didn't want that the father davens for his children, he should have long life, protection. Yeah, we all daven Hashem for our children, etc. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not want that the tefillah of Aaron HaKohen should have any effect on the children. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to a certain extent, was blocking the tefillah that Aaron HaKohen was davening later on for the children. Look what it says here. שלא תהא תפילת האב, הקדוש ברוך הוא didn't want that תפילה of the אב אהרון הכהן, מקובלת על הבנים, והיה רוצה להשמיד בניו. הקדוש ברוך הוא wanted to kill his children, meaning all his children. That's how bad this issue was. כדמיין במידרש הבא, על פסוק קח את אהרון וכו'. אמר רבי יהושע דסיכנין, בשם רבי לוי, ובאהרון התענף, הקדוש ברוך הוא got very annoyed with אהרון הכהן. אין השמדה אלא כלוי בנים. When the pasuk says להשמיד בניו, want to destroy, right? Want to destroy Aaron, it means destroying his children. That's what it says here. אין השמדה אלא כלוי בנים. His children were supposed to die. But תפילתו של משה רבנו עשתה מכסה. But the tefillah of Moshe Rabbeinu cut it in half. It blocked the gezerah and stopped it. It was able to destroy, stop the gezerah by half. שמתו שתיים. How many children did Aaron HaKohen have? He had 4. The 4 of them were supposed to die. Moshe Rabbeinu davened, and that davening, Moshe Rabbeinu, somebody else, not him, not Aaron himself, but Moshe Rabbeinu davened, and 2 of those stayed alive, and the other 2 passed away. Ela dekashe. Next paragraph. Next page, I mean. אלא דקשה שלא מצינו רק הבנים קטנים שמתים בעוון אביהם. זה קשה. Why? Because the Gemara says, you've seen it as well here, the Sifri, that when children pass away, the normal case is that young children, when they die, lo aleno, so they die because of the chet of the parents, because of the parents' sins. But that's only when they're young, when they're small. So what connection is there between Aaron and his children, the four of them, which were already old, very old, they can, it says they can, kevar hayu gedolim v'chachamim. The children of Aaron HaKohen were big chachamim, the tzaddikim themselves. They have their own rights, kaviyachol, their own their merits. So why should they die because of Aaron's sins? Very, very good question. Another question. She'ashnayim shemetu, Adam v'Avihu, those who died, that yes, shemetu, metu be'avon atzmam. They died because of their averot, not because of Aaron's. There's no connection. It doesn't seem to be a connection. We might see it later. כמאמר הכתוב, שהקריבו אש זרה, אשר לא ציווה להם. So over here, these two children, Nadav and Avihu, passed away because they themselves made the sin of their own account. Or כמו שאמרו מידש, טעמים אחרים, or could be for other reasons as well, but that's the main reason.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Are we to understand that when someone loses a baby, a very young child, it's because of them, really? I mean, that's what we kind of just learned that. Little children die because of the sins of the parents.
Yeah.
So every little baby that ever died is because of the sins of the parents.
Also.
I mean, I can't think right now of some great people who lost little babies, but I'm sure there were many.
נכון. So we might say again, wow, look at this, he's a big tzaddik, how come he lost a little child? So to that we say, according to, we don't know his story. We don't know his story. Hashem knows his story. We don't know his story in this world, in this Gilgun. This, you might see him as a tzaddik now, but he had a cheshbon before he came to this world. He was a gilgul of something, and he now he has to metaken what he did previously. Also, the person, you have to understand, also the person, the baby who came into this world, right? Also him, he also had an issue. Why is he dying? What did he do wrong? He also did something wrong in the Gilgul. In other words, many times to do with the Gilgulim. Understand? So to be able to appease you a bit. But the idea is, yes, sometimes we do make mistakes. We can't really say that we're perfect. And then we're not chayav. We don't know how many times we do things that we promise things, and with this and with that. And the Gemara says, these things.
Did we learn once with the Zera Shimshon that a left-handed person was a Russia in the previous Gilgul?
Yeah.
Or did I learn that somewhere else?
Could be
That
somewhere
was with
else.
Zera Shimshon.
Yeah. No, I don't know the Zera Shimshon. But yes, it does say that.
So let's say, for example, there's a tzaddik now who's a left-handed, and he's going through so many sarat. So that would be a tikkun for being in the previous Gilgul as a Russia, not in his lifetime now.
Correct. In other words, we won't say that he's a big Russia before, but he had an issue, one issue, two issues, whatever it is. Remember, you have to understand, we have to go to Gan Eden clean. We have to go to Olam Haba, and the moment we haven't fixed something, you have to go back again. It's like you've got the electrical system in your house, right? One little wire is not connected, and the entire house doesn't work. But I did everything. Everything's connected. Look, this goes to here, this checker to this, and then every switch, everything's done. One little wire, the principal wire is not there, whatever it is, right? It's not there. So it's not working. So the same thing with the tikkunim, with the mitzvah that we do, with the avirah that we do, that we have to be metaken. This is why because who gives us a lot of chances as well within our lifetime to be able to complete our mission. tefillot, the Shema, the tefillah, the tzedakah, Torah that we learn. All these things are there in order to, the emunah, emunat chachamim. All these things are there to be metaken. What we have to metaken. So we see from here that what that Aharon HaKohen, he seems to be connecting, and from the Gemara as well, we seem to be connecting that the death of Nadav Avihu is connected to the chet of Aharon, but that only happens when the little kids, when the little kids over here, they're old, the Chachamim, Tzadikim. So how come is this? They are being aimed at. B'Yeshomar. Yeah, we'll finish with this. ב'Yeshomar, דמי הפרק בית דעדויות, האב זוכה לבן בנוי בכוח בשנים. The father is zoche to his children, benoi, the beauty, power, and shanim. A few other things as well. You have to see that. ופירש רבי עקיבא מברטנורה, והוא מיושלמי, שאם האדם זוכה הוויין לבנים מתוארם באלו התוארים, וזוכה אף כשהם גדולים. והשתניך שנדב אביהו בני אהרון התחייבו מיתה, אף בשעה מתן תורה, אלא שזכות אביהם גרמה להצילם. Here it says that Nadav Avihu, they were also chayav mitah at the time of Matan Torah. It's just the zchut avihem galma le'atzilam, וכאן חובת אביהם גרמה להם אדרבה ליפול בחטא כדי שימותו. So they, for some reason, I have to look into it, they were choteh. They had a din of chayav mitah even already at Matan Torah. Nadav Avihu, the children of Aaron. I do not know what they did wrong. But because of the merit of the parents, that they were saved. Okay? That's part one. Part two, we see that Aaron made a mistake. וכאן חובת אביהם גרמה להם אדרבה ליפול. Now at this point, right, Aaron's sin caused these two, Nadav Avihu, which already they had an issue at Matan Torah. I do not know what, it doesn't say. Right, they had an issue already from the beginning, so they were immediately connected. In other words, they had a chet or chaya mitah. Nadav Avihu at the time of Matan Torah, for some reason. The zchut of Aaron protected them. Now the moment Aaron made a mistake, he himself is an issue, so automatically the protection is not there anymore on the kids, and therefore that caused Nadav Avihu to do a chet, not shogeg, but when they said, "Oh, come, let's go to they started to drink wine, and they said, "Come, let's do the pituma, let's do the ketoret." Who caused that? You think it's time like that? No. The chet of Aharon HaKohen caused them to think this way and to start, and say, "Oh, let's do this," and this themselves were that's a trap, the punishment that they're going to go through now and die. They were supposed to die already from Matan Torah, but because Aharon HaKohen protected them, right? Okay, protected them, good. The moment Aharon HaKohen made a mistake, so then the protection was removed, and then a chet, the protection was still there to a certain extent, but it comes into mitlabesh, it dresses itself in a form of a chet, and this chet was the thing that they wanted to bring over to the ketoret, to the Ohel Moed. because of that, they were totally, they died. Okay? שאם לא כן, הרי הקדוש ברוך הוא מצילם מהחטא בזכות אביהם, כדי שלא יתחייבו מיתה, כמו שכתוב היפה תואר. הקדוש ברוך הוא could have saved them. In other words, we see from here that who could have said, no, I'll use the merits of Aaron Cohen to protect these, but they already had their chet already from before. They had already sinned from before, and that caused it. כמו שכתב יפה תואר, הנה לא היה חטא שלהם כדאי להמיתם, כמו שכתב משה, אז אחים. The other answer is that it wasn't enough. The sin that they did of bringing the ketoret and drinking and bringing the ketoret wasn't enough to kill them. To make them die, right? Putting it together with the chet of Adam HaRishon that also affects the children together biyachad, that causes already an issue to Nadav Avihu. So there's two answers here. Okay, there's two answers. Why Nadav Avihu passed away? What's the connection with Aaron HaKohen? So we see from here that this idea of not davening is chamur biyoter, is very stringent, very not pashut. There's a tremendous connection. You're davening with your children, the Gadol Ador with the whole of Israel, and if you don't daven properly, so that's choteh. If you are choteh, so you affect the children's outcome. The children's outcome comes from your chetz. But understand, you can't say, no, it's up to him. No, you also have an issue. Yeah, we all have issues. We all have issues somewhere along the line. So we have to improve on our behavior in Yad Shamayim and everything that we do in the tefillot, etc. And that will have automatically a positive effect on our children. Everything's Min HaShamayim. Everything's Min HaShamayim. If the children behave like this or like that or do this or whatever it is, it's only because I wouldn't say only, but it is also because of us, because of the parents. The parents have also a tremendous connection, a tremendous their tefillah have tremendous effort, power over the children. So B'ezrat Hashem, we have a lot of zchuyot to be able to daven to our children and have a lot of good things, B'ezrat Hashem, to all of us. And B'ezrat Hashem, only nachas, B'ezrat Hashem, to all of us.
Amen. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Take care. So, take care. Bye-bye.